Howdy Howdy, this is Clara Lawrence. Okay, honestly, this is take two. We're going to see how far we can go here without screwing up too bad. Oh, don't you do it. I've got my son being mischievous in the background here. Don't do it. Oh, anyway, so this is the video that I took of my pour during Artapalooza, and this isn't from last week. It's from the week before that. Terribly sorry it's running late. And I've also done another boo-boo, not my normal. I usually take pictures of the colors that I use and post it at the end of the video. So, whoops, that didn't happen either. I'm really off my game today. However, I've got a nice selection of blues that I've used in this one. I've also got some black in there. There's some transparent blues. I believe there's a blue with a shift in it. Give a little bit of shimmer to it, but there's also there's also some white, but there's also some glow in the dark in this too. I wanted to have some color that had some glow in there, and the reason for this is I wanted to try to intentionally create a background to be used for a dragon drawing and maybe have the glow area be somewhere where the mouth is. I'm not sure if I actually succeeded, but to be honest with you, the end result is pretty cool. It turned out pretty neat. So I've got the finished product on my table so that I can look at it from time to time, trying to figure out how I'm going to work this in with the dragon drawing. But yeah, that's my next challenge after with this piece. So what I've done here is I've got quite a bit of the blue mixed up into a dirty cup. That's the shift color that I was talking to you about that I'm adding there. And I end up adding a little bit of white straight there. And I believe the glow in the dark comes after that. And I'm using the Stone Coat glow in the dark. Uh-oh, am I fibbing? As I'm fibbing, that was a shimmer. Okay, so I have a little bit of a pearl shimmer to it, and then the glow in the dark after that. So I'm hoping it kind of gives that, you can see a fairly large patch. But I did decide to add a little bit more of the dirty pour to the outside of it, because I was worried that it was going to get mixed up or get lost with the tilt and such. So we are tilting away, which is, well, there's not a whole lot to say about it except for we're tilting and we're tilting. But what did come out, which was really interesting when it was not cured up, is there seemed to be a little bit of texture in there, almost kind of like, have you ever seen clouds when you look at them up in the sky, and it's not, they're not smooth, but they're kind of a lot of little rounded little patches to it. Well, I got that texture in there for a period of time that came up. And that was kind of cool. Some of it retained, but it's kind of hard to find it because it's in the darker colors. But I'm in the process right now, I believe, of contemplating what to add next. So dirty pours are kind of interesting. You can either leave them as they come out, or you can add to them and create almost like a feature zone. And if the composition isn't working quite right for me, or in other words, I'm not liking the flow, sometimes I'll go and I'll add a little bit more. But I usually like to do it before I tilt and move it around, so that way it always flows with the piece. But this is one of the rare times that I've added it afterwards. A little trick for pouring out of a cup. If you want to minimize the little squiggle lines right at the end, spin your cup so that way that resin can run along the rim of it, and you can try and catch a lot of that little stringy bits. You won't get all of it, but you can get some of it and minimize some of it. So that V area in the middle is where the glow in the dark is. Now there is a little bit of it still in the dirty pour, and you can see some of it at the bottom where it seems to be like a little bit of a greenish kind of a tint to it. That's some of that the glow in the dark powder. And I'm just trying to incorporate the two dirty pours together so it looks intentional right now. But I'm super happy with the end result. And I did get pictures of those at the end, so yay. And I'm adding a little bit more of the glow in the dark powder and also the shimmer. And I wouldn't be surprised if Milky Way from Resin Art, I'm pretty sure that's what I've added, because I wanted something that was kind of clear that had a little bit of a nice shimmer to it with the glow in the dark. I'm pretty sure it's that color. So it's a very nice transparent color, but it's also one of those that if you add more to it, it becomes more opaque. But a very pretty color that you can add to other colors to kind of bring up the shimmer factor or the pearlescent factor. So I would recommend highly to add that color to your collection as one of those good foundation colors to you know, for playing with resin. So the next Artapalooza video that's coming up, I did some masks. So I ordered some masks off of Amazon, and they're kind of an interesting mask. It's a kind of a compressed paper, almost has a plastic to it, but it's got, I have to admit, it holds its shape really, really well. And I thought, you know, let me try and see if I could do resin on it, and did a test, and sure enough, it held up. Did really well. So I played with some of that during the next week's Artapalooza. So that video hopefully will be coming out in a couple days, and you'll get to see that. And I'll also have a video coming up with some masks that I played with Erica with, and we did some alcohol ink on those as well. Now, if you can look at the top part of your screen there, almost in the middle, you can see that texture that I was talking about. Is kind of almost bubble-like, so it's really interesting. All right, time for the closeout.
All right, this guy cured ever so nice. Let me zoom in. A few different shades of blue. And a whole mess of depth. This is just, I love this. This is so cool. A lot of texture. And that almost looks like, you know, scales or, you know, the underside of some clouds except for blue. Or fish scales. I mean, that right there looks like fish scales right there. That's just interesting. I'm real happy with this piece. Yeah. Almost reminds me of pointillism, where you paint with dots of color until they're blended together. That's really cool. All right, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video up. And don't forget, check the links in the description below for any products that you're interested in, as well as the link to my Etsy store, because I've got a lot of pieces of artwork coming up on my Etsy page. In fact, I just uploaded a whole bunch of items. Later.
All right, so hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video up. Don't forget to check my links in the description below for any products I used, as well as the link for my Etsy store. There you go.